Right then, a new season of Divinez Deluxe arc is now here. As we gather our fighters for the next Deluxe tournament, meeting new characters and catching up with both our Overdress and Divinez cast. And trust me, some of the characters shown here were surprising, despite the teaser trailer that we got before this. So let's dive into it. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're talking all things episode 1 of the Cardfight Vanguard Divinez Deluxe arc. Again, an episode that showcases the gathering of competitors, while showcasing some established bonds, connections, while also creating some rivalries. So then, this episode was rather slice of life in terms of the feeling and vibes that it presented. We have Jinky going around handing out the invitations to participants of the next Deluxe. Seeing characters return like Suo, Aikawa, Megami, Erika, and there are a few characters as well that don't get shown to have their ticket within this episode, but we know we'll get them thanks to the teaser trailer, such as Now, Michiru, Laika, and Mirai, plus Senka. Now we do also get to see some new faces, characters like Suzune and Yakumo getting their invitations, but we'll talk about those characters briefly in just a minute. Now, although they weren't confirmed to be participating, we do see cameos from Urara, which I absolutely loved. She was so much fun to watch in Overdress, and I love how she's still her goofy, lovable self. We see Tamori, yes, we saw at the end of the last arc, but we also see a surprise appearance from Danji. This was a massive surprise, and hopefully he will also get an invitation to participate, as we can see a lot of fun card fights with him involved. And we have many more people surely to appear moving forward as we go through the season. Now, we don't get to see Yu, but he does get mentioned, as we have some lore about Team Blackout, as it turns out that the leader before Danji, well, it was heavily hinted at being Yakumo, who is now our new rival for Akina. So then they really hyped up this Yakumo character within this episode, calling him a fighter that could stand toe-to-toe with Michiru, aka the world's strongest fighter. Now we know that Yakumo is Nao's master / teacher, and thanks to this opening and the official website telling us, we also know that he'll be using Branded Gate. Design-wise, his character's not that inspiring, I'm going to be honest. I don't like the design of his character very much, but I do like how there's a subtle reference to Aichi Sendo Season 1 design, with obviously Yakumo having a red t-shirt while wearing a blue jacket. Now you could say Aichi or you could say Daigo, that's a reference. However, I do like the fact that they have very much presented this character as being this this powerhouse that would be an obstacle for our protagonist to overcome. And speaking of protagonists being referenced, it was really cool seeing a Trickstar unit as the cover of the cafe. Obviously, a reference to Yu. Now then, back to Yakumo. I liked how he was very curious about Akina and could sense from the start that there was something great about him, yet still missing. Akina's not the finished product yet. The barrage of questions was probably a way to see if Akina was someone that could think quickly, as well as obviously think on his feet and answer without hesitation. Now then, Akina's answer to his memorable fight question, him saying his fight against Now really does speak to Akina's feelings, which we knew that he had for her, thanks to the ending of Season 2. But oh my god, the romance segment within this episode was hilarious. And Nao's reaction made it even better. Both Akina and Now blushing was just super wholesome and sweet. And I hope Yakumo isn't going to tease them too much regarding this, as right now it's funny. But say 6 episodes later, it will get old and a bit stale. So hopefully there's more between Yakumo and Akina that creates this rivalry that does seem to have a little bit of animosity between them. So that was just one of the new characters introduced. The second was Suzune, Rokuyen, a member of the Rokuyen family, which in lore is established as a family that produces the strongest card fighters. Something we definitely haven't heard before in terms of a plotline. As per her character, she does seem very analytical and calculated in everything that she does and says, earning herself the title Vanguard Machine. Her design, I really do like it. I think it's really nice. And although she is using lyricals, her ace monster, which we saw in the opening, does not look like a lyrical monster. It looks more like a Link Joker reverse unit. So maybe they're hinting at that and making a reference to the original series. I'd love it if they did. Anyways, I'm excited to see what she brings to the table moving forward. And we all know that she's going to be a strong fighter because A, she's been invited to this deluxe tournament, but also she's known as one of the 3 rising stars, along with Senka and Rika. So then, returning to the episode itself, I love seeing the wholesome and fun interactions that we had between the groups, seeing their friendships and dynamic blossom. Aikawa's and Suo was great. Even if Suo seems like a mad dog fighter that just wants to fight all the time, it's really interesting seeing how Suo has recently took an interest in cooking, as it makes me happy to see his growth outside of card fighting. Now, we also know that he hasn't got all of his memories, so him doing this tournament could help him unlock some of those, yet again. Also, Suo seems to have an admirer. There's a lady that likes him, but unfortunately, he scared her off. Oops. Now, the thing I was most glad to see in terms of interactions was the sweet and wholesome segment between Akina and Hikari. Seeing them fight over dinner, as one hates veggies, especially celery, and the other one just wants his sister to have a healthy and balanced diet, was funny and comedic. It was awesome to see both characters doing their best and showcasing them as strong fighters. And the expressions that were shown from both characters were brilliant as well. Hikari's always a bundle of joy and a great laugh, and they did her perfect in this part. Now, while on the topic of the Miyodos, let's briefly mention Erika. I love how she's in this tournament, as I love seeing this character. Her new design is incredible, and I like the small references to Gorbelius and Sybil that we have with her new design. Now you're probably thinking, what? Now this might also be a stretch, but hear me out. So Gorbelius is being referenced with how her outfit contains quite a lot of white. We see Gorbelius' main character colour palette when he was transformed was white. The purple jacket is kind of like Nao's hair when Nao was possessed by Sybil. And also you can see on the very tips of Sybil's wings when it's in his plushy form, it does contain a bit of purple with it, and it's a light purple, not a dark purple. Also, when Nao was possessed, she had a black outfit on with a red stripe all the way through the middle. Now, when we look at Erika's design here, she does also have a red stripe zipper through her outfit, or jacket I should say. So again, we have very small little details and references that I think could link to those 3 characters, and I think that's super cool. Another really interesting thing about her character that was shown within this episode was the way she aligns herself with Akina. Now it's clear that she keeps in touch with him and wants to see him. That hasn't changed. But she's stopping herself from being his sister. She originally calls him brother when talking about seeing Akina, but then backtracks and opts to call him Akina instead, showing that she's trying to distance herself to some degree in order to find herself and use her new life for herself instead of reverting back to being the sister of someone that she's already lost. Like, she knows that Akina in this timeline can't replace the brother that she's already lost, so she can keep in touch with him and still spend time with him, but she shouldn't really call him brother. instead be more like friends. A little bit sad when you think about it that way. Now then, some other points of interest were seeing Mikoto on stage during the festival. If this was her season 1 form, she wouldn't be doing this type of thing. And I loved how she is now doing so, because it does show her character growth and development. Plus, seeing Yuna in the crowd going absolutely crazy was just a really fun visual. The CEO guy that Erika now works for gave his ticket to Deluxe to Erika. Now this was a very sweet and wholesome gesture, and I like the fact that he's done this. And he's done it with her best interest in mind. But also, it's clear that he wanted to fight as well, as straight afterwards, he asked his assistant for a match. Finally, something tells me that this isn't going to be a typical straightforward tournament arc. There's got to be something that goes wrong. There's got to be some sort of dramatic reveal or plot or engine that drives everything together. Because, okay, Jinki's not evil, we know that, but he is teamed with Masanori, who likes a bit of chaos and a bit of destruction and to mess around with people. Plus, Gyu also is the one who says now the time is ready, meaning that there is some form of plan in motion. What that is, we'll have to keep in mind and have a look moving forward. So then, as we head towards the start of the Deluxe tournament, what new characters are we likely to see added into the story? Well, whoever it is, I'm sure this season will contain lots of laughs, cool moments, and emotion, because, let's be honest, Divine's done emotion perfectly within the last 2 seasons, so why not in this one? And obviously we'll see some great fights, and now romance. So if you want to keep up to date with all the latest action and information about this season, then make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, hit like, comment, and share this video with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Arigato, matane, goodbye.